Hi, this is Rahim Zulfikar Ali. In this video tutorial, we will learn how to add a quickly calendar table in Power Pivot inside Microsoft Excel. And not just we will be creating the slicers with that calendar based on a financial calendar year from Jan to December, but also learn how to add a fiscal calendar year if your organization is using from July to June calendar, or even in some countries if it's from April to March. So let's get started. First, let me tell you what is about. So I have created a dashboard, and this dashboard has different data sets which is coming from different files, from Excel file, from Notepad, from Microsoft Access, and I have used Power Pivot. So let me show you first. So when I open Power Pivot, so you can see we have different tables such as customers, orders, products, regions, and returns data. I hope you understand what are dimension tables and what are fact table. And eventually, I hope you have already an idea that what are different kind of schemas we create inside Power Pivot. But if you are very basic user and if you are exploring this for the very first time, my suggestion is to you that go to my YouTube channel, search for sales analytical dashboard with DAX and Power Pivot. You will find an extensive 1 hour of recorded lesson where I have tell each step in detail that how I have created this entire dashboard. But in this video tutorial, my purpose is that I will be focusing on how to quickly create a calendar and also how to manage fiscal calendar. Okay, so let's go to Power Pivot again. All right, and you know that here we don't have any calendar table right now because I have deleted intentionally just to show you how we can quickly create. Most of the users, what they do, they manage that calendar table manually and import into this particular schema and then build a relationship from that. But that's not a good approach. The one of the best approach is that inside Power Pivot you can create dynamic calendar table very easily with just one click. Okay, so let's get started. What you will do is you will go to the design tab and you will find date table. When you click, you will find new option available. Okay, so when you click on new, as soon as you click, it will take few seconds and create a new calendar sheet for us and a date column on the very left side. And see, within just a second it created some different columns for us, like year column, month number column, month column, right, day of week number column. I mean, we don't have write manually any kind of DAX and created calculated columns, but it automatically does for us. That's a very awesome thing. Another question might come in your mind that how this option find itself that I need to create the dates from 1st of January 2009 till 9th 28 2011. I mean, it could be starting from like because I am recording this video in 2025 and might be you eventually think of that either I can get latest dates or something like that, or not from 2009, it could be any year. So how it's being thinking of creating the minimum and maximum date, right? That question can come in your mind. So technically what it does is the calendar, this feature basically scans my fact table where I have the date column. So I have a fact table name is orders and I have a order date column. So basically it scans all different kind of date columns presented in your fact tables, and then it finds the minimum date and maximum date out of this particular fact table. So eventually when your this fact table data gets appended, I mean more transactions would come in future, so technically your calendar table will automatically expand or append as well. Okay, that's the best part of it. I have dates from 2009 till 2012, so that's why this column is creating dates for me. Okay, now I can put these columns because this is a dimension table of calendar, and I can have my slicers based on year, month, and even for quarters as well. How we get the quarters, because quarter is not being defined here in this calendar table. So I can click on add column, and let me resize a formula bar a bit so that you can see. So for quarters, first we define the name of the column, then colon sign equals to, we'll use the format DAX, then we'll define the structure reference calendar table date column, comma, and within the inverted commas backslash QQ, then again inverted commas, bracket close, press the enter key. Alright, so it created a quarters column for me, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, right? Now what I can do is I have to go to home tab, and then I will go to the diagram view, and I need to connect this calendar dimension table with my fact table. So I will pick the date and I will connect with the order date. So that will create a relationship of 1 to many. Okay, then I will go back to data view, and I can go back to Excel as well. So there's a small icon, it says switch to workbook. So I can switch to my workbook here. And now what I can do is I can go to any Power Pivot, and from there I can go to analyze, insert slicer. I will click on all here, and then I can add the fields such as what I need is I need month, I need quarters, I need an year. Click OK. So we'll get the slicers. Let's select them, Control X to cut, and let me paste here. So Control V, paste everything. Alright, now there will be a certain thing, there will be a certain issues with this particular slicer, of especially for the month. Now at this point of time, the slicer month list is coming right chronological sorted from Jan to December, right? But what I need is I need in a short format like JAN, FEB, Feb, March for MAR. Okay, so I will go to the Power Pivot again, and what I will do is I will say that okay, I just need the first 3 initials for the name of the month. So I will remove 1M, and let's revise this. Okay, now the list has been done here, but let me go to the Excel. Now what happens as soon as I made it to the short format month names, it being not sorted now as a chronological sorted from Jan to December. Now it's showing me from A to Z, as you can see here, April to September, right? So now what I need to do is I will go again to the Power Pivot. I will select this column, and I will use the helper column for month number to assign each month a number. Okay, so let's click on sort column, and let's select month number column. Okay, and let's go to the Excel again. See that my month list is being sorted from Jan to December, right? Let me do a bit of formatting here. So select the month slicer, go to slicer, instead of column 1 let's select 12 to make it horizontal view. So let's expand this. So now we will create the slicers, quarters and year for the fiscal year from July to June. Okay, let's go to the Power Pivot. How? Power Pivot, click on manage button. Alright, now here we will add a column for fiscal years first. Now how would be fiscal years column would look like is, as you see, primarily all the months from Jan to December fall in just 1 year, but when it comes to fiscal year from July to June, the 6 months would be from the last year and the remaining 6 months would be from the present year. Similarly, when we go forward, 6 months would be from the current year and 6 months would be from the next year. So technically, if you can see here, instead of 2009, we need 2008 to 2009, then 2009 to 2010, because 6 months will be splitted in the respective years. Okay, for that logic, we will add a calculated column and applying a DAX, which is simply an if statement. So we'll use first the heading of the column is fiscal years, colon equals to if now we need to define the logical test if the calendar table month number column is less than equals to 6. If this is the case, then let me drag this so that you can see. Now what we need is, because January to June will be less than and equals to 6, and then July to December would be definitely greater than 6, right? So for less than and equals to 6, we need to create the result output, such as we need 2008 to 2009, then 2009 to 2010, like such as. So we'll write here calendar year. We will pick the year column from the calendar table and put -1 here. Then ampersand sign, hyphen sign in the middle, again ampersand, and then calendar year column again. So that will technically develop the last year and the current year, like 2008 and 2009. And if the month number is from above 6, so then we'll define the criterion value false. So that will be calendar year, that will be the current year, remains same, and then ampersand colon ampersand calendar year +1. Okay, and then let's close the bracket. So as soon as I press the enter key, you can see the results here. Now for the fiscal years, you can see 2008, 2009, going beyond, you will find 2009 and 2010, like. So even still, if you see August, September, which is the 8th and 9th month of 2009, if you follow the calendar from Jan to December, but for definitely for the fiscal years, it would be 2009 and 2010, right? Then we need, definitely, because this month list is being sorted based on financial calendar year, right? But we need to have this again, and we need to sort on based on fiscal month numbers. So for that, let's add 2 more columns for that. Month names, okay, colon equals to, we'll put a format DAX here, and we'll say go to calendar table, pick the date column, and give us month name. Okay, why I am adding another similar column? Because I don't need to basically assign fiscal month numbers on this column, because I need to retain a financial calendar slicer as well on the dashboard, just to cross check. So that's why I'm putting another column here. And now we will create another column, fiscal month numbers, fiscal month numbers. I'll put a DAX called, let me put first easy, so that you can understand. What we will do is, we will be applying a month DAX, and what it will do is, it will fetch the month number from the date column. So we'll say that go to calendar table, pick the date column, and return the number of the month. Okay, so whatever the month number would be, raw by raw context, it will generate that number. So for January 1, for February 2, for March 3, but we need to go 6 months back. Okay, so we, because our calendar is not financial, it's fiscal, from July to June. If our calendar is from April to March, we need to go 3 months back number. Okay, so primarily, if you see the July here, which is the 7th month on the financial calendar year, technically I need 1 here instead of 7. So I need to make sure that my logic will go 6 steps back, 6 months back. Okay, technically 6 months back number. So what I need to do here is, I will add another DAX, which is called eDate, and then I will use comma -6. Why -6? Because my fiscal calendar is from July to June. If my fiscal calendar is from April to March, then I will use 3 here instead of 6, but I will go with the 6, okay, for July to June. When I press the enter key, now you will see a difference here. So see, now it's creating 7th. So now January for the fiscal month names is 7, whereas for the financial calendar is 1. And when I go downwards for the July, now July will be considered as the first month, sorted based on a slicer on the front end, whereas for the financial year it's still the 7, right? Now for the quarters, let's do this as well, and we'll go to the front end to see the difference. So fiscal quarters colon equals to, we'll use format dax, then e-date, and then we'll say that go to the calendar table, pick the date column, comma, -6, okay, then comma, and give us quarter like Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So we'll put 2 times Q with a slash and then inverted commas. Let's close the bracket and let's wait for a few seconds. We'll generate the result. So see, now January is being fall in the quarter 3 of the fiscal quarter, whereas if I go downwards into the July, see now July is being quarter 1 is the fiscal quarter. I hope you can see here. Okay, so now the July is being Q1, whereas for the financial calendar it's still Q3. Okay, so I hope you understood now. So now we have a calendar table as a dimension table. We have financial calendar attributes as well, columns as well, and the fiscal ones as well. Okay, so now what we will do, once we have created all the calculated columns, now we'll go back to Excel. Do one more step is that I will select this column. This will rename as fiscal month names. Okay, and what I need here is that I select this column and I will sort this column based on fiscal month numbers. So I will click on sort column and I will select sort based on fiscal month numbers. Okay, and now I will put this on the spreadsheet as a slicer. So let's go to Excel. Okay, so let's click on analyze, let's click insert slicer all, and let's add fiscal quarter, fiscal month names, fiscal years. So click OK, and let's press Control, select them, Control X to cut, and let's put it here, paste everything. Okay, so this is for fiscal quarters. Okay, let me change the bit formatting for this slicer so that you can see. So this is now, see, this is from July to June. Okay, and we can do a bit of formatting as well from here. Let's say this is orange. All right, one more thing, when you integrate this to the dashboard here, make sure that this slicer has been connected on the back end with all the Power Pivots. So right click, report connections, and see now I also need to check mark all these pivots because I need to have that interactivity with my front end dashboard as well. So eventually when I press Ctrl X to cut this object, when I put here onto the dashboard just for the demonstration, and when I now click on any of the month, you can see my entire dashboard is being dynamically changing. My KPI numbers, my visualizations as well, based on fiscal calendar. That's what we resolved in this video, right? But just to give you an idea, you can put the slicers here, but just to give you an idea, I have plotted here to show you the significant difference, how we can have different calendars inside the Power Pivot